So once you've been selected for the DV visa, they'll definitely have to schedule a visa interview for you. So from wherever it is that you're going to be doing your visa interview, you will need to show up with particular documentation. So that is what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be talking about the documents that you will carry to your visa interview, because even before you do the visa interview, they're going to ask for all these documents, and these are all the documents that we have been talking about in the previous videos. If you're seeing my face for the first time, or you're hearing this for the very first time, the DV lottery is basically an application that it's an opportunity by the US government where different people from in different countries apply to become US citizens of, you're a citizen of America. So for starters, you're a green card permanent holder. Then 5 years later, you transition into a US citizen. So my name is Rachel Agasha, and if you're seeing my face for the first time, I am an immigrant from Uganda. On the channel, we talk about everything United States. So I won the DV lottery in 2021, and I share my experience. I share what you need, what you have to have, what you need to know, and also I talk about the different things that I have learned on this journey, the things that I wish I knew, the mistakes that I made, and the things that I would want you to know before you come to this country, or if you've just gotten into this country, the things you need to know before you make the same mistakes that I made. So if I give you a reason to subscribe, do not hesitate. Be sure to leave a like for the video and a comment if you have something to say. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I take time to reply to all my comments. I answer all the questions that they are in, and if I don't have the right answer to the question, I do some kind of research and make sure I'm giving you reliable information. So document number one that you're going to need to show up with is the confirmation letter. Now, once you fill the DS-260 form, the DS-260 form is the form you fill at the very beginning after they've told you, oh, you have been selected, blah, blah, blah. Once you finish filling in that information, they tell you to print out the confirmation page. So you're going to have that confirmation page, because they need to know you're actually the person, they scheduled with and whatever. The next document you're going to have is your passport. You need to have a valid passport, or a passport that is valid for the next 6 months. You need to show up with a valid passport. If you have family, if you have 10 children and your wife, every one of them has to have a passport, because in those passports is where they'll input the visas that you will need to use to travel. Another thing you're going to have is I don't know how to call this particular form, but once you're selected and they're telling you and they schedule your visa appointment, they'll ask you for a DHL location or wherever it is that you want them to send your passport after they've put the visa. You do not go back to the embassy to pick your passport. No. After doing your interview, you leave your passport. If your visa has been approved, they send you to a particular location. So they need a form confirming that this is the location where you want your passport to be sent. So you need to have that document as well. Another document that you're going to need is all your academic transcripts. So if you said you completed your high school, you need to have your I don't know if I've emphasized this enough, but they will need your certificate, not the payslip. I don't know if you get what I mean, because in Uganda you get the payslip from your NEB, but then you get the certificate from your school. So if you've not gotten your certificate as yet, you need to go back to the school where you sat your Form 6 or your Form 4 and get your certificates. That is what they are more interested in. They don't care about this whole the payslip, because their level of education is different. All they want is a certification of, oh yeah, this person completed this particular level of school. So that is why they're asking you for a certificate. So please get your certificate. If you've not laminated it yet, please don't. Also, I normally tell people that I share from my experience. So if you've won the DV lottery and you feel like maybe what I'm saying does not resonate with you, Again, I am just sharing my opinion. Please go right ahead and share your opinion in the comment section, because there could be somebody else from your country who might want that information. I share from the Ugandan perspective, and I share from my experience, which was in 2021, 2022. Yeah, so if things have changed, also feel free to let us know if things have changed. Please don't attack me. Do not attack me. I'm not the one who makes the rules and everything. I just share from my experience. So be kind enough to leave your comment or your opinion in the comment section. Yeah. Then another document that you're going to need is a marriage certificate. If you indicated in the DS260 form that you're actually married, you're going to need to show your marriage certificate. Now, I appreciate the fact that we are Africans and we could have our certificates in our native languages. You need to have your marriage certificate translated. Yeah, and whoever does the translation needs to attach their CV to show that they're actually authorized to be doing this translation. So have your marriage certificate translated. Yes. Then in the event that you showed on your DS260 form that you're divorced, you're also going to need your divorce papers, or I don't know if you get a certificate, but that document to show that, oh yes, I was once married but I'm not married anymore. Yeah. Then you're going to need to show up with your birth certificate. They're big on birth certificates. Now, if you have children and a wife and a husband, you're going to need birth certificates for all of them. Just like we said with the passport, you're going to need birth certificates for every one of the people you are applying with. And again, if the birth certificate is not in the English language, you might want to, you don't know, I'm not saying you might, you must have it translated. Like you would translate all these other documents, have them translated as well, or have it translated as well, and then the translator or the person who does the translating or the interpreting or whatever needs to attach their CV again to show that they're authorized to be doing this kind of work. Yeah. Then another documents that you're going to need, I don't know if this is actually a document, but you're going to need passport photos. So you need to show up with 2 passport photos. I know that when they give you the visa, they attach a picture of you in the visa. So they're going to need that passport photo. Please have 2 for every family member, because they'll ask for them when you get there. Now, when you show up with your documents, have them all as original copies. Yeah, they want original copies because when you get there, they just they photocopy and give you back your originals. They cannot photocopy a photocopy of a particular document, so you have to show up with all original documents. Yeah. Then another thing that you need to show up with is the letter of good conduct for everyone who's 16 years and above. 16 years and above, you all are required to have a letter of good conduct. Now, if you've lived in a particular country, okay, let's say I'm Ugandan and I have lived, let's say, in Nairobi for 5 years or for a year plus, you need a letter of good conduct from Nairobi as well, because they need to show that you're in good standing with this country. You're not a criminal. You did not leave your country to go and carry out criminal acts in another country. So you will need that as well. Please show up with your letter of good conduct, and the letter of good conduct is supposed to be from 6 months from the date when you are having the interview. I don't know, 6 months back. Yeah, so if you were selected in let's say June, okay, if you are, okay, it has to be 6 months prior to show your record from 6 months before your interview. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, so do not rush to get your letter of good conduct. I personally worked on it quite early. I had to go back and get another letter of good conduct. You know, I just wanted to have everything together as soon as possibly, as soon as I could. But then your letter of good conduct is supposed to be from 6 months back from the date of your visa interview. Yeah, then if you've served in the military, you need to have your military records. They're big on that. You need to have your military records when you show up for your visa interview. Then another thing that you're definitely going to have, that they're definitely going to ask you about, is the tax returns of your host. I mentioned this in my previous video because they need to know that wherever it is that you're going, whoever is hosting you is a lawful citizen of the United States, and they're living right. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're paying their taxes. They are living right. So they'll normally ask for their ID. They ask for an identification card, and then they also ask for their tax returns. Oftentimes they also ask for an affidavit of support, or in my case I had a recommendation letter. But you need to have that stuff from your host as well, because they're definitely going to ask for it. Then another thing they're going to ask for is then another thing you're going to have to do when you go for the visa interview is, okay, this is not a form really, but you need to have the money for the visa fee. Yeah. When I did my interview, the visa fee was 330 USD. So for every family member of yours, you're going to pay 330 US dollars. As a mother, father, and your 10 children, do the math. 330 USD dollars. Now, again, like I said, that was when I was selected. I do not know if things have changed, but if they have and you've done them recently, please let us know. And in case I need to do some research about that, I will, and I'll let you know. But I don't think that price has changed. It could be still the same price, but yeah, you need to have the visa fee. And like I mentioned, once you are selected, you're given a whole year to put yourself together. One thing they'll be emphasizing is that you cannot sell off your property and do this and that, quit your job because, oh my God, I'm going to the United States of America. Trust me, it's not over until it's over. Until this American guy or lady at the teller tells you, hey, you know what, your visa has been approved, or we'll send your passport here, it's not over. So if you want to sell your things off after your visa interview, is the right time to do it, because after your visa has been approved, you have 6 months to travel, because the visa that you have, the DV visa, the diversity visa, is actually 6 months. It's valid for 6 months. So within the span of 6 months, you have to have traveled to the United States. And by the time you get there, like I mentioned at some point, you're supposed to pay a particular fee for your green card processing. So they tell you to pay that before you leave your country or when you reach, so that they start working on your green card. So by the time your visa expires, you actually have your green card already, and you are a lawful permanent green card holder in the United States. Yeah, so that's as much as we'll be talking about in this video. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. You can leave your questions in the comment section. If you have an opinion to share, be sure to leave it in the comment section as well. And if there's any other anything you'd want me to make a video about, please let me know and I will do that. Yeah, I'll see you in our next video. Thank you for watching. I hope I gave you a reason to subscribe. If you've subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, I hope I give you a reason to subscribe next time. I'll see you in our next video. Stay safe and take care. Bye bye.